We're back on eBay and we're checking for notable sales. Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is good, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and thank you guys for joining me for another video here on the channel. You guys know what day it is. We're breaking down some notable eBay sales, and boy, do I have some doozies for you today. If you aren't familiar with what I do is I take some eBay sales that occurred over the past week and I go through them, show the GPA prices, see if these people got good deals, bad deals, and so on and so forth. But before we get started in the video, like always, I want to remind you guys, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor, go ahead, click that sub button, smash the hell out of that like button, because you know once we get to 5,000 subs, I'm giving away an Iron Man 1. That's right, I can't freaking wait. With that said, let's check out these books. So the first book I'm going to take a look at this week is this awesome copy of Marvel Spotlight number 5 in a CGC 6.5 and this awesome custom Ghost Rider label. Now, of course, this is the first appearance of Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider, and this book sold last week on March 22nd for $1,599.99. As you can see, the seller had this listed for $2,000 at one point, took 20% off, and it's sold. The last sale has been recorded already by GPA for $1,600. The 90-day average for this one was right around there at $1,634. The 12-month rolling average is $1,901 on 34 sales. The 2022 average, $2,167. We actually got a nice dip from the halfway point in 2022. And way back in 2021, the average was $2,197. You guys know this is one of my favorite Bronze Age keys out there right now. I put it probably behind Hulk 181. I absolutely love this cover. I enjoy the Ghost Rider character. I think it's dipped enough where if you want to hang on to this book for the next 10 to 15 to possibly 20 years, you could be getting a deal. But again, not all Bronze Age keys are created equal. I would put this at the 2 spot, like I said, after 181. Then after Ghost Rider, I would say Giant Size X-Men 1, and then ASM 129. Up next is a raw copy of Batman number 189 and the first Silver Age appearance of the Scarecrow. I always like doing a couple of raw books when I do this series just to show you guys the deals that could be had. Now, this book sold at auction for $426 on 55 bids. Not a bad price. Now, from looking just at the cover of this book, I'm going to call it a 5.0, and that's a GPA data that I pulled. So at a 5.0, the last sale for this book was $390. So this book went a little bit above that. The 90-day average for this one, $388. The 12-month rolling average, $434. Back in 2022, the average was $456, and way back in 2021, the average was $377. Now, you know I'm a Batman fan, and I do collect Silver Age villains relating to Batman, so this is one of them. Not one of the bigger ones out there, but still commands a decent price at a 5.0. The one thing that sticks out is that book is pretty solid, right? $377 and 2021, and now the last sale at $390. Now I'm calling this a 5.0. Could be higher, could be lower. I can't see the rest of the book, but I think this person got a pretty good deal for a raw copy of a nice Silver Age key. So I will say these are pretty steady. Some of them do fall, some of them go up, but either way, it's not too much. The next book we're going to take a look at is probably taken one of the biggest hits I've seen in the comic industry over the past couple of years. And that's right, we're talking about Werewolf by Night, number 32, and the first appearance of Moon Knight. Now, this book at a CGC 6.5, a white pager, okay, guys? This one sold on March 22nd for $872.77 on only 22 bids, mind you, in an auction, $20 shipping. So this book has really gotten crushed. I mean, it has come so far, so quickly. I mean, is it overdone? I'm not too sure. That series that we had on Disney Plus really wasn't that great, even though I enjoyed the character and the actor who played him. Let's take a look at the GPA data at a 6.5. The last sale is this one at $873. The 90-day average for this book, $1,122 on only 5 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $1,307. Way back in 2022, the average was $1,542. And in 2021, this book skyrocketed for $2,111 average. Man, we're talking about 60+% this book has come down. It has absolutely gotten crushed. And I'm not sure if it's ever going to get back to those heights. Drop me comments down below. Let me know what you think of these prices. Is book ever going to come back to where it was in 2021? I absolutely love this cover, by the way, but I'm not sure. Everybody was going crazy for all these Moon Knight books. Not just this one, and it is the main Moon Knight book that you should own. All the other minor keys from Moon Knight, they've gotten crushed as well. So to each his own. For me, I just can't go anywhere near this book right now, but I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to pick this one up. So this next book, I really wanted to get into the GPA data. We're talking about Uncanny X-Men number 266, this being a CBCS book at a 9.8. It's the first full appearance of Gambit. I think right now CGC is calling the first appearance X-Men Annual 14, I think it is. The book with not a great cover. For me, I think this is the money book. It's the one you have to stick to regarding Gambit. Either way, this book sold at auction with only 2 bids. That's the first thing that I noticed about this book, for $510 on March 22nd. Now, I don't know what the starting price was, if it was $500, $400, or if it was started at $1. I have no idea. Regardless, there were only 2 bids, and it ended at $510. As we get into the GPA data, let me remind you guys, GPA only tracks CGC sales. So this one being a CBCS book, not recorded. Regardless, the last sale for a CGC 9.8, $516, so right around that price. The 90-day average for this book, $713 on 38 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $818. In 2022, the average was $882, and way back in 2021, $995. We're talking almost a 58% drop for this book. I can't believe how much this one has come down. I know a lot of people out there want to own this book. Very popular character, very popular cover. One of the better covers from the Copper Age, in my opinion. Regardless, is now it's a good time to pick this book up? I have no idea. I know for the long term, I like the character. I do like the book, only in a 9.8, and it's still cheap enough at 500 something bucks for a 9.8. I'd definitely be grabbing onto this one and hanging on to it. Either way, 58% drop. I'll let you guys make the choice. Do you guys want to talk about a book that has absolutely gotten crushed over the past couple of years? It's definitely this one. We're talking about Fantastic Four, number 4, and the first Silver Age appearance of the Submariner. Now, we could talk about this book not being a true first appearance, actually his first Silver Age appearance. We could talk about maybe people didn't relate to the character in the new Black Panther 2 movie because they changed too much of his origin. I do not know what it is. All I can tell you is this book has gotten absolutely freaking crushed. This one sold on March 21st for $2,125 and 1 cent for good measure on 17 bids. So this was an auction item. As we get into the GPA data, you can see the last sale has been recorded at $21.25. The 90-day average for this book was $2,438. The 12-month rolling average on this one, $3,580. In 2022, the average was $4,009 on 8 sales, and way back in 2021, $4,970. I will say this, I feel bad for anybody who bought this book in 2021 and early 2022, because this book has gone down another 58%. And I know people out there who are holding this book and has gotten absolutely crushed. So I really feel bad for them. Regardless, I've never owned this book. I'm glad I didn't go ahead and pick up this book. At one point, it might have been a good idea to go ahead and snatch this one, but you had to sell it before that movie came out. And of course, those who held on, they've been absolutely taken to the woodshed. And the last book we're going to talk about this week is this awesome copy of Silver Surfer number 1, and the first appearance of the Silver Surfer in his own solo title. Now, I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorite covers from the Silver Age, and it being a square-bound book, it's awfully hard to find in higher grades, and it's very expensive when we get up to that grade point average. Regardless, this copy at a CGC 3.0 sold on March 21st for only $368. Again, on 18 bids in another auction, guys, all right? So as we get into the GPA data, the last sale was this one at $368. The 90-day average up at $449 on only 7 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $509. In 2022, the average was $561. And way back in 2021, $540. We're talking about a modest $180 decrease. Not too bad, right? The one thing I noticed about this book, in lower grades, if this book presents well, it actually hangs on to its value very well. So people are actually looking for this book, I think, in lower grades. When we start to get to the higher grades, it starts to become a lot more money, and a lot more people out there are not going to spend the money when you get to a certain grade point average, because they'd rather have the first appearance at that point, right? If you're going to spend all that money on a high grade copy of this book, you might as well take that money and go buy a first appearance of this character. But either way, I think this is the better cover. I absolutely love this book for a 3.0. Hey, for under $400, I think it's a steal. I actually would love to have a 4.0 copy of this book, leave it on my wall. I just think it presents well. Great book to talk about when we're talking about Silver Surfer. That's it for another week of notable eBay sales. Again, I took some of the books that you guys recommended me to look out for if something sold this week. So drop more comments down below. Let me know if there are books you're interested in seeing on this series of videos. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this one. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.